Hello, my name is Sebbi and welcome back to the coffee break in Minecraft. Today is Friday, May 9th, 2025. I am back from my 3-day long training. It was kinda okayish. There were some very nice aspects to it, but there were also several things that weren't that exciting. I will talk about this in just a moment, but first I have to feed this very hungry cat, I think, salmon. I think it's a salmon day. Let's get the salmon out. Cat, you look excited. Yes? You like to have that salmon? Here you go. He's good? Okay, he's good. It's just a slight purr. Guess the cat is just... Okay, purr increases. Right. Totally forgot to release the horse from the warehouse. Poor horse. Had to stay one more night in the warehouse instead of being out here in this beautiful park, enjoying the beautiful sunrise, enjoying the beautiful sunlight in the morning. I will release the horse from the warehouse in just a moment, but first I'd like to make a quick stop at the mine to grab all the sugar canes that have grown down there. I still need some more sugar canes I can turn into paper to trade with my librarians to get more mending. I need to remember to bring fences and a lead to capture the stray librarian again and to make sure that they don't escape anymore. So many things to do. But for now, let's focus on harvesting sugar canes and reviewing the last 3 days. We left on Tuesday. Was kinda okayish. We just had to get to a town next to Nuremberg. So this was okay of a ride. Got there, found a good parking spot. And yeah, as we got into that emergency medical school, we were greeted. They asked us for our food preferences. They had vegetarian or normal food available or to choose between. And I was like, would there be also a vegan option maybe? They first weren't that sure about this because they said their caterer does not serve vegan. But this was so cute. I was so amazed by it. At lunchtime, there was one singular box extra labeled vegan. So somehow they managed to convince the caterer to have one portion of food that is vegan. Just for me. This was so cute. This was so sweet. I really celebrated this, and this continued on for the next 2 days. This was ultra sweet, and I really enjoyed this. I guess was one of my favorite moments of the entire situation there. So yeah, this was cool. It was very cool. The first day was all about mass casualty incidents, how to handle them, how to do everything. As it felt a little bit more like a reminder, not so much of a hey, that's the recent changes. I mean, there have been some changes to the procedures, but they weren't that significant, so it felt a little bit strange having a full day on that. They of course had lots of simulations that sure, it's hard to simulate those events, especially when it's a mass casualty incident, like what happens if there's a bus accident or something like this, with lots of injured people at once. And yeah, in those simulations, each of us had to take over a certain role. And one of the simulations I tried my chance as being basically the coordinator at the accident site, which on the one hand was an interesting experience, but at the same time, especially during the debriefing, where they then discussed several things, and what I basically didn't do well, I was thinking like, okay, on the one hand, sure, it's not that my lack of knowledge resulted in discussing or helped in discussing the difficulties such a coordinator has at the accident site, but at the same time, felt also like you never really explained to me what my duties are. I have no previous knowledge on what the coordinator has to do and what are their responsibilities at the scene. So I also felt a little bit like being led into a trap and being exploited by my lack of knowledge or so. So there was some flavor to it which I didn't like. I thought like, okay, you could have at least give me a quick briefing on what things do I have to take care of and what things I don't have to take care of. So this would have felt a little bit better, at least on my end. But anyways, this was the first day. Was kind of... I felt the day went by rather quickly, because there were, well, some frequent simulations, but it was not like pure simulation heavy. There were also some talks and so on. So this was all right. This was kind of cool. Day 2 and day 3 focused on emergencies that might arise. Do I have let's have 12 jungle. No, I don't want to use jungle fences. I have lots of birch wood. I have 9 birch fence. I feel like 9 birch fence is already... You can't jump over a fence, right? Even, I mean, just a normal fence is high enough to keep everyone contained. I feel like 9 fences are enough. I mean, I just need to have a fence around the entrance, basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 9 fences would be good. It would be more than enough. I, of course, can't have a fence gate, as otherwise the librarians will just open the fence gate, but I think it will make it easier to keep them contained. Wait. I think I like to keep up the pile of dirt in front of the door, that they can't open the door, but if they open or if they escape while I'm there. So 1, 2. When I do it here, it's a little bit bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9 is the perfect number. 9 is really the perfect number I need for keeping my librarians contained. It's good. That's very good. All right, this means I grab my birch fences and throw them in here. There's also a spare lead. I can throw here to hopefully remind myself to take this on the next expedition with me. Oh, pretty good. Pretty good when I don't forget about that. Yeah, so day 2 and day 3 were all about situations that might arise around elderly people, how their body changes and so on. Day 2 had 2 presentations, 2 talks, which was kind of cool. They could have been a little bit more extensive. This is also a thing I gave them as feedback on their course. like, okay, that your talks were great. I really enjoyed that you also referenced some scientific papers, publications to give it a little bit more substance. But I wish there would have been more, and I wish there would have been a higher focus on presentation, on giving us knowledge, background knowledge, because that's really what I feel is the most important thing, to have a very in-depth knowledge you can rely on when making then informed decisions when dealing with the patient, instead of, okay, we're going through a simulation and then we are having some knowledge for that particular case, but this might not carry over to a different case or so. So yeah, I really enjoyed the talks, and I really enjoyed that they were kind of scientific. Could have been better, of course, but I guess I'm also kind of a special person in that audience when it comes to scientific requirements and knowledge and requests and so on. I guess not everyone. I guess I was the only one with a PhD there. So yeah, I guess this makes things a little bit difficult to really satisfy me. I also enjoyed the second and third day. Of course, had also lots of simulations and training. I really enjoyed the aspect that was also focusing a lot on team communication skills. They had a special simulation room where it was basically just a small space, like living room or something like this. Sure, it does not look super real and so on, but at least it's a nice space, and they film the scene from various angles. They record the audio, and they all use this to, in the debriefing, grab some examples of how we handled the simulation, to really debrief and to give us insights in how our performance was, as it's often so difficult when doing debriefing. Like, okay, I thought it was like that, but no, I had a different impression. And by really having a instant replay, basically, of what happened, one can really take a deep look at how things went, what was said, how it was understood, and of course discussing how things could be improved. So I really enjoyed this. That was really a fun part. At the same time, we were alternating. We were in smaller groups, and we were alternating between either this communication focused oriented training and some more medical knowledge training. I felt the medical knowledge training thing was kind of boring. Sure, we went through certain potential cases, but every case focused on one specific aspect that could happen with elderly people, and they wanted to basically use this case as a starting point to present certain knowledge around this, or to deepen certain knowledge. I just found the ratio was completely off. Like, I don't know, it were like 60 minutes per workshop training session, 45 minutes, I don't know, so some given time. And completing the simulation always was around like 20 minutes or so, maybe sometimes even a bit more. And then packing things up again and reviewing the simulation itself and how everyone felt. So until we really got to the point where it was about, now we discuss the knowledge we wanted to convey with that simulation. It was like, okay, we had only 10 minutes left or so. And So the core, the essence of what should have been learned of 1 hour or one training session or so was then condensed into the last 10 minutes and kind of rushed. So yeah, this was also a little bit against my scientific brain and against my interest in really having some deep and vast knowledge. Felt more like, okay, we had now this specific case and now we focus on a very tiny bit of it, which is the knowledge we want to present you. And then it's not only about the knowledge itself, it's more like, hey, this is actually just to make you aware of the fact that this kind of situation exists. I was like, okay, yeah, great, thanks. So basically, I learned nothing, and I felt that like this was the aspect that annoyed me a little bit the most. I mean, we all know by now how to. I mean, it would be weird if we don't know how to do or interpret or set up an ECG or how to prepare certain meds or whatever. So all those hands-on skills, we of course had to. We really had to go through everything. Which I find nice that we could actually use stuff, but when it's more about gaining new knowledge, then using stuff takes so much time and doesn't change a thing about what you learn when it's about to gain new knowledge on a certain topic or so. So yeah, I personally wasn't that excited about that one. So what they did really well with the communication training, seeing if we communicate properly, if we keep everyone in the team informed and so on, was a little bit the opposite with the new knowledge thing. So this was sad. This was a little bit sad. The group itself was kind of nice. Oh wait, one thing I also enjoyed being leader of one. I mean, I tried various things, so I always volunteered to do stuff and so on. I found it kind of cool also to be a lead of one of those examples, especially in the communication training room, and to successfully lead someone and take advantage of those who have a higher qualification level, using them to my advantage, that they provide me with the knowledge I personally don't have because I don't have that training. So this was cool, and the instructors were also kind of happy with my performance, which was nice. And they really said, "Hey, this was good, and that was good." And in general, they were kind of happy and used several things I did, even in other things as an example for how, hey, that's how it should be properly done. So I was kind of happy with that outcome. So yeah, that was good. It was nice. The hotel where my colleague and I stayed was nice. I mean, it was completely in a small little village, in the middle of nowhere. Was like a good hotel, but also not super amazing. The first night, I don't know. The first night was super bad. It was not because of the hotel. I just my brain just wanted to go crazy or so. It woke me up at 1:30 a.m. and from this time on, things just went downhill and wasn't sleeping well. It was a little bit annoying. The next night was better. In that village there was one restaurant, but the dishes sounded not super exciting and they were also somewhat pricey, I felt. So we relied more on going to the grocery store and buying some stuff there and making our own picnic. I mean, we had good food at the school, so there was no need to really get big food or something like that. So that was cool, or was okayish. I also enjoyed at the hotel they don't had oat milk or any non-dairy milk right at the buffet in the morning. But they had a sign like, hey, if you need oat milk or so, please talk to the staff. That's what I did, and what really amazed me was the fact that the next day, so the second morning, the staff remembered me, and as soon as I got into the breakfast room, they asked me, okay, hey, where are you placed? Where are you seated? And without me asking again for oat milk or so, they just brought me a can of oat milk and put it at my table. So this was so sweet. Like they really remembered me. They really cared for my satisfaction. So that was cool. I enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed that one. Also, I didn't went to the gym in this little village. It was a little bit too far away for me. I was not inclined to do a significant walk, as the village itself was not looking that. Oh no, those jerks. Was not looking that interesting. But right in the adjacent building of the school, there was also a gym that was included in my well pass, in my monthly subscription, where I can enter gyms, pools, and so on that participate in that thing. It's a gym chain. They do have also a gym here in my town, so I thought on the second day of the school at lunchtime, hey, let's pop over there and just see how it works when I want to enter. Basically, they with my monthly subscription, they entered me into their system, gave me some access token, which I can use in all of their gyms. Basically, now I can also just go training in their gym in my town, which is kind of cool. And I found it also so sweet. The third day, so yesterday, also went there in the lunch break for each day. I did basically 20 minutes or so of training there, and I got there again the second day, or third day, but for a second day in a row. And the staff remembered me, and as I said goodbye to them, like, okay, I now have to leave again. My school ends today. They remembered where I was coming from and said, have fun there in that town. So I was basically the entire 3 days amazed me with respect how kind people and how much people can care about others. Getting vegan food just for me was super sweet for 3 days in a row. In the hotel, being remembered like, okay, this person likes to have oat milk, so without that person asking us again, we just serve oat milk right away, bring it to the table. The gym staff remembering me and remembering where I was from and so on. I felt this was so amazing. It was so great. So overall, I really enjoyed those days. Like, okay, cool. People can care. People can notice me. People can remember me. That was all. That was so cool. It was really amazing. So while the training in itself was not the best, and in retrospective, I'm even not quite sure what I actually learned from those 3 days. I feel like the knowledge gain is kinda slim, barely existent, because I mean there were a few new insights, but I would have expected more after 3 days, but still, it is okay. Though the 3 days were mostly like, people can actually care and be nice. This was more the insight I got from those 3 days. So that was cool. Oh, very cool. And yeah, now it's Friday already. Friday, May 9th. Which means soon, in a couple of hours, not even 24 hours to go, and then it's less than 7 days until Tokyo. That's also cool. I'm excited. I'm really excited. A couple of hours, it's less than 20. It's less than 7 days. That's so cool. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's it for now. I hope I see you again next time. Thank you so much for watching. Until then, my name is Sebbi. See you!